seeing that level of, number one, interference and involvement in a by-election where a member of parliament to represent people is going to be chosen?
To some extent, yes.
You should. People have work to do. We're trying to get to first world, and here we are.
Yeah.
No. About first world, it's a different thing altogether. I will tell you one thing. C.S. Roku and his boss, the appointed Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, will have no value if they can lose that seat in this administration going forward. Remember, this is a political government, a government that was voted for by the Kenyan people. So if where you come from I cannot win, why should I have you? Obviously, from administrative point of view, Kenyans are expecting leaders to be working, not to be politicking. But that is the nature of Kenyan arrangement. People have also to secure the government. The government is secured by securing majority of the people, of the leaders elected. Because when you talk of a political government, it means a certain number of leaders who are elected, the majority of them leading the country. So in this case, in the event Mbeere North goes, which I think it will anyway, and I pray that it
goes
happens
where?
that way. Obviously, the people elect, because electing people supporting this administration, it means you are supporting murderers, you are supporting abductions, you are supporting corruption, you are supporting land grabbing across this country. You are supporting all hills committed by this administration. So in this case, I wish Kenyans sent a very strong message that this is not going to be business as usual.
And I'm just wondering, Bwana DG, because we have about 24 by-elections, and part of these are, of course, we are seeing heavy involvement of your caliber, leaders of your caliber, and I mean high-level county government officials in some of them. And in one of the
we have one in Machakos.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Actually, it was almost the first one in the country.
Yes, and in some of these by-elections, you have county officials heavily investing in campaigns of their candidates. In the event that their candidates do not win, what do you see happening between the county government's investment in some of the projects and the leaders that they are currently not supporting? Do you think they will work together? What is the stake, the play at stake, and what does that mean to the general service delivery?
Let me tell
and we
you.
could give examples. We can go to Homa Bay, we can go to Mboni, among others.
Yeah. There are different political plays at play at the moment. One, when you go to western part of the country, we have lost a leader who was perceived as a unifying factor who for a long time has led that region. I will say almost over 100% of the leadership from that particular part of the world is creation. So these elections coming soon after his demise, it might send very strong message in the event the county government loses the candidate they are backing. Elsewhere, it might be different. And why is it different? Nowadays, Kenyans are very informed. They are fully aware of what is happening. So you might invest a lot of energies, a lot of monies, a lot of things here and there. But maybe the people will eat your money and maybe send you and your candidate where you belong. But the underlying message is the same. That you have to get this because stakes are too high. Remember, we are almost 1.5 years to the next election.
Yes.
If any candidate backed by the county loses, to me, I think it is projects ideally are supposed to continue. because that is an investment to support the citizens. But do we see that happening most of the time? Your guess is as good as mine. If they win, Ken, I assure you, you will see a lot of chest thumping. We have done this, and it is a testimony of what is going to happen in the future. If they lose those backed by the county governments, the opponents will say the same. They will come just thumping, saying, you know, we told you, you are losing and we are coming for you. Definitely that will be the message.
Yeah.
So, because the question was on projects, I think projects are supposed to continue, but this is Africa. Yeah. This is Kenya. We know how things happen. Sometimes people might run away. Yeah. And maybe even if it were, for example, a power project, electricity project, this rural electrification, something, you might see even ports being pulled to be taken elsewhere. Yes. So, and we have seen it before. Yeah. This is not a new thing. We all, actually, the beauty of it, we are all Africans here. Yeah. And we know how Africans play their game.
And we are all Kenyans.
Political, yes.
And it's unfortunate, and to an extent, that we play the game in the manner in which we do, because we behave as though, like you see now, this election, people have been camping out in different parts of the country, leaving the work that they're actually supposed to be doing. And you wonder who is actually doing that work. Yeah. People are sitting, using taxpayers' money to sit in hotels and to do whatever they need to do so that they can campaign during the day and hand out sweets at night. This is what we are doing where there is work that needs to be done. The attention is being paid to an election that should not change the course of development of the country. Should not. That the other places where elections happen, and guess what? They continue as though nothing happened. The work that needs to be done by government continues. The work that needs to be done by representative members of a government continues. But here we have an election and it's like the world is going to stop and we're going to have a second Earth being born. When are we going to drop this thing of behaving as if this election, if somebody doesn't win, it is death? And number two, there are still issues that need to be dealt with that are not being dealt with. The whole nation is watching 24 different places because they're having a by-election. Mind you, it's not a fresh election. These are elections that replace people who left by natural attrition or were promoted to something else. This is not a fresh election. It is a replacement for the next 1.5 years for spots that were left empty. Yeah. So how are we going to get off this thing whereby an election comes and the world must stop?
The day we will empower Kenyans. In Kenya, specifically, and in global south, developing world, people make their citizens poor so that they can have absolute control of the population. In Kenya, I talked of a political government. If, for example, a candidate whom I endorsed lost, it means my job is in line. So I must get out. For example, as a county government, I must, if I'm a governor, ideally you get out and mobilize people so that they can vote for your candidate, so that you can also go out and say, you know, this is how strong politically I am. Some political governments at the regional level could be serving their last term, and they could be eyeing something else at national level. They also need to show their value. Ideally, what is supposed to happen, we need to empower our population so that they have no time for those kind of shenanigans. And we are competing on the issue of how impactful my ideas as a candidate are, and not how deep my pockets are. The political violence we are witnessing across the country and across the many regions is as a result of that interest. Our people are so poor to an extent, you must somehow pay for listening allowance, mobilization allowance, all these allowances. Why? You are facing a very needy population. So in this case, there are a combination of factors that are leading us to this. But the bottom line is the poverty levels affecting our people. Yes.
And DG, you just, I like what you said, that the campaign should not be about the depth of my pocket, but really about the ideas that I have.
Yes.
I remember that in these by-elections, I think we have one independent candidate that should be Aroko in Homa Bay, but most of them are actually supported by political parties. Do you think our parties have ideologies? Like when you talk about, poverty levels of our people, and so we more or less want to, give them something to mobilize and to try and persuade them to vote for us, and even sometimes to force, quote unquote, that they vote for our candidates. Where is the space of political ideology? Yeah.
At the moment, Ken, I will tell you freely that the ideologies are there. Very good of them. But it is a challenge, a very big challenge to implement that ideology. Why? Because of one, interest. There's something in international relations we call interest. This interest, one is from the owner of the party. I would want to control the bigger part of the country. I would want to control the entire country through my political organization. And sometimes you don't do it through ideas. Sometimes it is how much you give.
Of what? Money.
Coins.
Money.
Okay.
I can tell you,
Coins.
we might not talk about it openly, but that is a fact. That's a fact.
So
It's expensive.
Can I just repeat what you've said so that I can be clear?
Yes.
So we're saying that it's not about ideology. We can talk about ideology as we do in international relations and things like that. But the truth of the matter is that politicians know and Kenyans know that their decision is linked directly to how much money you give them. Is that a reality in today's time? So Kenyans who are here talking about voting and voter education and voter registration, if the politician is not giving them money, they are not going to vote for them.
They will not even listen to them. I will tell you. The secret is one. And this third president of the Republic of Kenya had started together with three different deputies, among them Kalonzo Musyoka, Mundi Awori, and late Kijana Wamalwa.
Yeah.
The president brought effective devolution that was geared towards empowering the population. If we had continued with what President Kibaki left, because we used a program he had started, Vision 2030, to loot the country instead of implementing that policy well. If we continued with that, the Kenyan population will be empowered today. You will have no people to hire to go and cause violence on your opponents. You will have very few people who will be available for some of these buy-ins. Because when you are empowered, you have no time for nonsense. And that's why I started by saying many administrations across Kenya have realized you make the population poor, you control them. You empower them, they start listening to you less, getting involved with your negativity less, and focus on nation building. Currently, even out of this building, just look at the both sides of the road. You will see an indoor population. That tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. And that population, they are out there waiting for anything including a politician to come and give these handouts or this manner of things. So it is a very big business where there is a by-election. People are very much enjoying. And you can see, you could easily see someone you started with, if a candidate makes 20 stops to address the residents, as much as you are giving something, you will see you might start with a section of the population and you end up with the same group. So I think that should not be the case. We should be focusing on having a meaningful engagement.
So leaders then are not interested in development?
Currently, I will
not
leaders.
Yeah, because if they were DG, then they also would stop this thing, because they would tell people that what if we're saying that Kenyans already, it's been established that Kenyans are not going to vote for anybody who doesn't give them money. This is what you said. That's what they're interested in. So all this ideology speak and all of this really doesn't feature. So if that's the case, then also leaders who put themselves up for the selection of these positions are not interested in development either. There's nobody who's interested in making the country move forward, because if one of the two, the selector and the selectee, were interested in development, then we would not see this hard stance when it came to handouts. If they were very interested in the development, they would say, you know what, show me what you can do, not what you can give. But that doesn't happen. Also, leaders insistent on giving people money are not interested in the development of the nation. They're interested in being in that position for other things. Because if they were interested in the development, they would be more people like Professor Kivuza Kibwana, who would say, you know what, fine, if there's a problem, collapse this whole thing. Let's go back to the ballot. And they resoundingly chose him again. And look at what he was then able to do in Makueni, which is still used as the poster child for development in this country. So leaders are not interested in development, and from what you're saying, people are not nobody is then interested in making sure that this thing moves on the needle. So we are at zero. Is that what you're saying?
The suit Ken is wearing, if I take the same suit and I put on the same, I will not look like him.
No.
That will not make me look like him. Sir Michael Porter once said, fish rots fast from the head. The late Raila Odinga akatuambia fisi woza kuanzia kichwa. Different leaders in this country have meant impact. I refuse to think leaders, the term leaders, I refuse to think that way. Because we have Professor Kibwana and the late Mwai Kibaki and others who have also tried to empower their population. But when you have a section of leadership at the top who value money, who can do anything to value money, who can even kill to retain power, the answer to your question, Udu, is yes. Affirmatively, yes. And that is what we are witnessing currently in this country. There is a lot of hopelessness. People want development. Don't think these people are following politicians simply because that is what they want. It is because of the level of poverty. Give them something to do, and I will tell you, you will see a change. That something to do can only come through a change of policy and implementation, effective implementation of the same. Remember, when we are talking about the country, when we are talking about leading a population, whether at ward level, at county level, or at national level, you are talking about empowering people, not both what HR people will call software in the development of the population, as opposed to the hardware issue of roads, maji everywhere, because that is the song now with this administration we have in place. They think everything is about water, roads. No. That's if you are talking to me about water, about roads, about what, and my stomach has nothing, then I'm not even listening to what you're saying. So, I think it will depend from one leader to another.
And in terms of depending from one leader to another, Bwana DG, so we have a leader in this country, President William Ruto, who gave us a dream in the State of the Nation, and he called it, I think it's from developing to developed, and that is taking us to Singapore. And I resonate with what you're saying, that we have to emphasize development, and that across the board, people must feel like their representatives actually speak on their behalf. And in terms of this development, many things come up. Employment creation, ease of doing business for private sector, small and micro enterprises, among others. And you sit at the apex of decision making for a county government. And part of what development would therefore mean in the context of Kenya is that counties are also sparring so that this over-concentration on the national government is not there. But one of those things that Singapore did was industrialization. And that as part of Kenya, we now have what we call the county aggregated industrial parks that are supposed to be county government functions, but national government also has a hand in them, with the imagination that now this should be able to spur industrialization across the country. Where are we with the KIPes?
Some ongoing, some stalled. Yes, that's the answer to your question. Because the national government did procurement. We were told to show where these KIPes will be set up. We did the same. We played our part, but the contractor sent from the national government, many of them have not been paid. I'm saying this because I sit as part of the national officials of the Deputy Governors Forum. I know what is happening from across this country, from different counties. But you have said something very important. Counties, in my view, are supposed to be centers of creativity, innovation, and science, geared to transforming this country. I'm not sure that is the case at the moment. Why? Because, when you are talking about development, my understanding of development is both human and also these other development like water, these other infrastructures. Allow me, because majority of those watching us are Kenyans, allow me to draw a case study of the NAC government. The NAC government came with a free education policy that started with primary, which was supposed to go to secondary, then university. That was to empower the population. And that's why you are seeing the so-called Gen Zs, they are products of that policy. President Kibaki and his team knew that there was a program at international level called these Millennium Development Goals. Out of it, they drew the program of wealth creation and employment. That took their first term in office. Towards the end of that term, they came up with the Vision 2030. And they continued to implement that. President Kibaki and the NAC administration brought the issue of devolution without the actual enactment of 2010 Constitution. We will remember so many development programs were taken to county level, to sub-county level, in terms of roads, in terms of electricity, in terms of what, in terms of all manner of things. Even AIDS money then was devolved from the national level to the constituency level, even CDF. Now, during that time, we came up with the Vision 2030. Now, we have an administration that is telling us we are going to move from developing to developed. You have tried to clearly state how that administration developed from an hopelessness situation, and they showed a path of growth and transformation of the country. Now, this other one, they are basing their transformation from developing to developed with which policy? Because at least we knew we had that vision, which had some flagship projects, which had political aspiration, which had all manner of set targets from one point to another. Now, when we say as a country we are moving, it's a very good thing. And I can tell you for free, if we were following Vision 2030, today we could not be witnessing the kind of political violence that we are witnessing in some parts of this country. Today, we could not be having the kind of idle population that is not contributing in terms of economic development of the country. So, I think the president is just playing politics. It is as simple as that. So because currently, you have asked just one item, what is the status of KIPES across the Republic? I can tell you for sure, we are also killing devolution strategically. We are led by very clever people who have reduced, and I can state, we can sit here and debate with anyone, any of these professors who are advisors of this government. Bring any of them who will say otherwise of what I'm saying. That devolution has been strategically reduced from the at least 15% that is supposed to go to devolution to actually slightly less than 9%. Okay? Today, the national government is doing literally everything that is supposed to be done by the county. That's why you are seeing we have had the president coming to a company, although people have told him one time. I'm sorry about that. I did not expect that. They should have listened to him, even if they think he is lying, and they allow him to go. He is the head of state. There was no need of one time, but that is what he got. He went around, and 90% of the programs he was launching are those county functions. Period. Meaning, and when you hear this administration, any agent from this administration, they don't talk as though county exists. County is not about just revamping. County is not about seeing this leader is stronger than this other one. No. Counties should be part of the wider transformation agenda. I can dare say, Ken, and you are very, you people, you are researchers by nature of what you do here on a daily basis. Tell me any country on earth that has developed without going decentralization way, what in Kenya we are calling devolution. None, period. Even petro states, all of them, they have a certain level of devolution. Which is functional. Here in Kenya, we are killing that devolution, which I will say Kenyans have an opportunity.
So DG, when you meet with His Excellency the President, for instance, in the summit, I don't remember when the last summit took place, but I'm sure there are meetings, there are processes that are happening, IGRTC among others. What is the kind of visioning that really happens to get to the president's, dreams like a 5 trillion infrastructure fund, where we are talking about a national infrastructure fund, and he brings in the sovereign wealth fund as mechanisms to be able to finance this dream? Why are you laughing?
DG, again, it's a very ambitious vision. But many in this administration are looking more taxes for Kenyans.
But he said there will be no new taxes.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. I want you to call me back here we analyze, because it is our duty.
Yeah.
If I do not want Kenyans to talk about the Deputy Governor Machakos County, I have no business being there. If I don't want to be asked a question as a public officer, I have no business being in that position. So you can invite anybody here to talk about Mwangangi and analyze the guy, so that the Kenyans get to understand. If you want me to analyze Ruto from his days as a student, from what I've read, I'll tell you, is one person who can tell you something that he knows too well is not true, but he's too confident that he will convince masses.
But we are seeing roads being constructed.
Where?
Which ones? Sorry.
Where, for example?
I'm just raising the point of from the State of the Nation address.
No.
Another day we saw the DP in one of the roads in northeastern areas that they're saying is part of the president's commitments.
What was left by the last administration? Yes, I can tell you for free. Look at, he came to my place. None of the places he visited are you can go and find a contractor doing what they were supposed to be doing. Yet, when I'm used to seeing either a governor or a president coming to launch a program, and then you leave, once the government leaves, the contractor continues. Not you come, launch, and then the contractor goes away to come after a year. That is not what I'm used to. You do your procurement, you do everything, you make sure even to some extent the program starts so that you come and launch something that is continuing, that you leave citizens benefiting. But that is not the case.
So, did you do as you come in? Because I remember in Siaya, for example, we have roads that have been launched more than enough times by the president. One that is very close even to my village is Bondo all the way to Liunda, which was
and we were there,
launched.
Ken, you did not come. We took 100 cows.
No, I was engaged, DG, but I had been there severally, but we will go back, don't worry. Yeah, so the rallying call basically is for leaders like you to hold your co-peers accountable, because it's quite unfortunate to do when we have, promises made, but we cannot touch them. Because infrastructure means a lot. You open up a whole community. You open up a whole, locality. It means that investments can happen, farmers can move their goods, and lots of things.
I invite Du and you, Ken, to a project that President was taken there by his administration, which he has done six times.
Six times. Okay.
Six times.
Wow.
When does that one leave citizens?
Even as we ask that, I guess usually then we can do the
and I can name it so that I don't look like I'm speculating.
Go ahead.
The housing program in Machakos.
Yes. Has been launched 6 times.
6 times.
Has not started yet. Okay. So if we look at the state of the nation, from your perspective, what is the state of the nation? Usually when you go to a doctor and they want to prescribe something or diagnose you, they have to look at how things are at the moment. In order for us to say what needs to be done, let's take a look from your perspective. I mean, the president said everything is, looking good. Is that?
Obviously, it is good for him and his handlers. That one goes without saying. Because when you see the amount of monies they are donating everywhere, they are good. But the country, if you want to know the state of the country, look at the level of poverty. You don't need to be told. Okay? I will say here that the country is on the wrong path. The country is on the wrong trajectory. I think from what he said, he set focus on his re-election. The talk of the Singapore moving from developed to developing, I think it is all meant to excite Kenyans. It is all meant to say, no, let's re-elect this president. Let's re-elect this government because they are doing something good to transform the country. But in reality, I will tell you, it's just another political strategy game.
There's a lot to be done, and it's unfortunate that we have these conversations to say that we seem to be going round and round in circles. The hope is that the circle will be broken at some point and we start to move linear. Thank you for being here this morning. Deputy Governor, Machakos County. This morning is Francis Mwangangi. He's joined us this morning. Start of this conversation into this week. What are the solutions? Where are we going? Good morning at 8 a.m.
The latest news from around the world. This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.